Now we are going to see about methods in Java. What is a method? How to add a method to a box class. Box is a class. And methods returning a value and adding a method that has a parameter. Method. What is method? The functions which we define in Java is called as methods. Classes usually consist of two things. One is instance variable and the other one is method. The general form of method is type, method name, then parameter list, opening braces. In this portion we give the body for the method and closing braces. The type specifies the type of the data that is returned by the method. This method can return some value. That data type, return values data type must be specified in this type. If the method is not returning any value and in the place of this data type we have to specify as void. The name is the name of the method. It can be any legal identifier. The parameter list is the sequence of type and identifier pair separated by commas. The parameters along with their particular respective types. And if a method has no parameters, then the parameter list will be empty. Then the methods can return some value. The syntax for returning a value is return. Return is the keyword followed by that value. It can also be an expression. Methods can have a return type other than void also. The value returned is specified by this variable value. Now we will see an example. So the same example which we have seen earlier, double width double height double depth. So box is a class. This box contains three instance variable, width, height and depth. Now this is the main class. Within main method we are going to create object for this class. Box my box1 is equal to new box. Then we can assign values for this object. My box1 dot width is equal to 10. Then my box1 dot height is equal to 20 and my box1 dot depth is equal to 15. Okay. Simple class. Now we are going to add a method called as volume. So this method is not returning any value, so void volume. The purpose of this method is to find the volume of this box and display that value. So we can give a message system dot out dot println volume is then we will display the value system dot out dot println of width into height into depth. So we have defined the method here, and here we should call the method. How we can call? By using the object name my box1 dot volume. Now we can save this program. We can execute this program. You can see the volume is displayed as 300. Okay. Now we can modify the same program by adding one more object. Box my box2 is equal to new box. here we can assign values for my box 1. Now we can also assign values for my box 2. My box 2 dot width is equal to 3. Then my box 2 dot height is equal to 6, and my box 2 dot depth is equal to 9. Now we have found out the volume for my box 1. Similarly, we can find out the volume for my box 2, that is my box 2 dot volume. Okay, we are calling the volume method by using my box 2 object. We can save this program and execute. Now we can see that this 2 lines, volume is 3000, belongs to my box 1. The second one belongs to my box 2. Okay. Same program is given here. For first object, volume is 3000, and so for second object, volume is 162. Now we can modify this program to see a function or method returning a value. So we can implement volume by computing the volume of box and returning the result to the calling portion. We'll see that. So what we are going to do is we are going to modify this program so that the value which is evaluated, instead of displaying the value here, we are returning the value to the calling portion. Which one is the calling portion? My box 1 is the calling. These two places are the calling portion. So we are going to return the value from this volume method to the calling portion. So how we can modify is, so instead of having these lines, we can delete this line. Here we can give like this. Instead of the system.out.println, return width into height into depth. So the return type is a double type data. So instead of void, we have to specify as double. So the value returned by this method must be stored somewhere. So here I will declare a variable called as vol of type double. Then the value returned will be stored here. So vol is equal to my box 1 dot volume. Then I will print the value volume is plus vol. Similarly, for the second object, my box 2 dot volume, the value should be stored in a variable. So vol is equal to my box 2 dot volume. Then we can print the value like this, plus vol. Okay, so what we have done is, instead of displaying the values here, finding out the volume or multiplying 3 values and displaying in this portion, we are just multiplying and returning the value from this method. The return type is double. Okay, so the value should be stored somewhere in the calling portion. So for that, we have declared a variable vol of type double, and the calling portion is this one, my box 1 dot volume. So the value will be returned here and it will be stored in the variable vol, and then it will be printed. Now we will execute and see this program. See, we are getting same output. Volume is 3000. 3000 belongs to the first object, my box 1, and volume is 162. This belongs to the second object, my box 2. So what we have done is, we have used the method volume which returns a value. Okay, so the same program, when volume is called, it is put on the right side of an assignment statement. Here we can see that this my box 1 dot volume is put on the right side of an assignment statement. On the left side is a variable called as vol that will receive the value that is returned by the method volume. Here two things to be noted. First one is the type of data returned by a method must be compatible with the return type specified by the method. That is, the type of data it is returning. This method is returning a double type data. So the type of data returning and the return type. What's the return type? This is the return type of volume. Both should be compatible. The second thing is the variable receiving the value should be compatible with the return type specified for the method. Which portion is receiving the value? This portion is receiving the value. This must be, that is VOL should be compatible with the type of value it is returning. So this one is returning a double type value. So this variable should also be a double type data. So here we can make another slight change. Instead of displaying the volume as VOL, so what we have done here, we have stored the values in VOL, and then we are displaying. Instead of storing in a variable and displaying, we can directly give us mybox1.volume in this place. In this place itself we can give mybox1.volume. We can modify and see the program. So instead of storing in a variable and displaying, we can directly give us mybox1.volume here. So I'll comment this line. So instead of giving us like this, we can make changes like this, mybox1.volume. So we instead of calling the method volume and storing in a variable and then displaying, we can directly give the method calling portion in the system.out.println statement itself. Now we'll compile and say save the program, compile. See, we are getting this same output. What's the mistake we have done? So here we should give us mybox2.volume. Save the program and execute. You will get the output, same output. For mybox1 the volume result is 3000, and for mybox2 it is 162. Next is adding a method that takes a parameter. So in the what we are going to see now is a method with some parameters. So before seeing a method with parameter, let's see a simple example without any parameter. So for this, we start a new program. Class S int square. So square is a method name without any parameters. So what we are going to do is, this will return the square of number 10. Return 10 into 10. This class is ending here. Then we have main class square demo a.a, main method public static void main of string args. So now we'll create object for this class, square obj is equal to new s of. We are creating object for the class. Now we are going to declare a variable called as sval. Now sval is equal to sobj dot square. We are calling that method square. So what happens is the square of 10 will be returned. Now we are going to display the value system dot out dot println square equal to plus SVAL. Now we'll try to execute this program. So what's the name of this program? Square Demo A. SQARA Square Demo A.java. I'll save this file, save square demo a.java. Replace, it's already there. Now we'll compile. Square demo a cannot find symbol, class S. So small letter, given small letter here, so that's why I got an error. I will save the program again, compile, system.out.println, save the program, compile. Now we got the result, square of 10 is equal to 100. Okay, so this is example program without any parameters. So square return 10, so this program will return the output 100. Now what we can do is we are going to modify this whole same program where it will return the square of the value which is passed as an argument. So how we can modify is here we can pass an argument I. Okay, I. So if you are specifying argument, instead of 10, what we can do is we can give I into I. We have to give us I into I. Okay. So what we are doing now is, so first we will call this method. We declare two variables, x comma y. Then x is equal to square of 5. Similarly, y is equal to sobj dot square of 9. Okay, so now we can print the output like this, square of 5 is equal to, so where is the square of 5 stored? In the variable x. So here we can give us x. Similarly, copy this, square of 9 is equal to, the square of 9 is stored in the value y, so we can give us y. Okay, let's compile this, execute. Okay, see, square of 5 is 25 and square of 9 is 81. So what is the advantage of this argument or parameters which you are passing? So in the previous case, the program will calculate the square, or it will return the square of only 10. So here in this example, whatever value is passed in the calling portion, the square of the respective value is returned by this method square. Okay, so if you are passing 5, you will get the square of 5. If you are passing 9, you will get a square of 9, and so on. So here we come across two terms. One is a parameter and the other one is argument. What is a parameter and what is an argument? Parameter is a variable defined by a method that receives a value when the method is called. An argument is a value that is passed to a method. So what a parameter is? The parameter is the variables which are used in the method definition, and the argument is the variable which you are using in the method call. So here 5 and 9 are called as arguments and I is called as parameter. So when a method is called, the argument is substituted on this parameter and then the method will get executed. So what is a parameter? A parameter is a variable defined by a method that receives a value when the method is called. So where it will receive the value in the method definition. So this portion is called as parameter and this portion is called as argument. Now we'll modify our box class which includes the parameterized methods. We can use the same box class. So what we are going to do is we'll introduce a new method called as set dimension. Void set dimension of double w for width, then double h for height, and double d for depth. So what code we can give here is width is equal to w, height is equal to h, and depth is equal to d. So how we can modify this program is the same program which we discussed earlier. Instead of giving these three lines, assigning values to the instance variable, we can use this method set dimension to assign values for the instance variables. So how we can modify is, so these lines are not required, so I will block these lines. So instead of these lines, what we can do is, I'll delete these lines. What we can do is, we'll call the method set dimension with the box object myBox1 dot set dimension of, what are the values, 10, 20, 15. Okay, similarly myBox2 dot set dimension of, what are the values, 3, 6, 9. So now what happens is, when this method call is made, myBox1 method call is made, the values 10, 20 and 15 are substituted over this w, h and d, and it will be assigned to the instance variable width, height and depth. Okay, these two lines will initialize width, height and depth or myBox1 and myBox2 with their respective values. So these lines are not required. Now we can save our program and execute our program. This is the same result. So in this example, we have used the method set dimension to and the method contains 3 parameters. Okay, same program with 3 parameters. Okay, thank you.